looking at four hypotheses, four ideas about how people learn languages. The output hypothesis, the input hypothesis, the affective filter hypothesis, and the grammar translation method. First, the output hypothesis, which was developed by Merrill Swain, also known as comprehensible output hypothesis. Basically, it states that we acquire language when we attempt to transmit a message, but fail and have to try again. Eventually, we arrive at the correct form, our partner finally understands, and we acquire the new language. So it's kind of the idea that it's trial and error, right? We try to say or write something, and then we notice that the person we're communicating with doesn't understand. So we try a different way of saying it until we reach something that works. The output hypothesis. This is known as the input hypothesis. It was a theory attributed to Stephen Krashen. And the idea is that we learn language, acquisition occurs when learners receive input that is one step beyond their current language development. This is known as I+1. So Krashen argues that authentic communication in the real world naturally provides input at I+1. The idea is that what the current level, what the students already know, has to be challenged. The student should always be challenged with something a little bit more difficult than they can manage, +1, so that they have room to improve. So teachers in the classroom should be providing language that is just a bit too difficult. Or authentic communication in the real world provides this I+1 input that is slightly too difficult. Here we have what's called the affective filter hypothesis. Also, Stephen Krashen. According to Krashen, one obstacle that manifests itself during language acquisition is the affective filter, a screen that is influenced by emotional variables which can prevent learning. This hypothetical filter does not impact acquisition directly, but rather prevents input from reaching the language acquisition part of the brain. According to Krashen, the affective filter can be prompted by many different variables, including anxiety, self-confidence, motivation, and stress. So basically, when your filter is high, you're nervous, you're anxious, you're not confident, you have difficulty learning. And when your filter is low and you feel good, confident, you're open and you're better able to learn. The idea is that in any aspect of education, it's important to create a safe, welcoming environment in which students can learn. In language education, this may be especially important since in order to take in and produce language, learners need to feel that they are able to make mistakes and take risks. This relates directly to Krashen's hypothesis of the affective filter. Here's the last one, what's called the grammar translation method. Krashen claims, quote, language acquisition does not require extensive use of conscious grammatical rules and does not require tedious, boring drill. Wait, what? Don't we need to learn grammar in order to master a language? Well, this grammar translation method evolved. It was a classical method that's basically been used since the 15th century. It tends to be very much text-based, and there's a lot of grammar explanation, but not much attention paid to pronunciation or actually using the language. The question is, do people need to learn grammar in order to master a language? And if so, how should we learn grammar? All right. The four hypotheses methods we've looked at: output, input, affective filter, and grammar translation. Thanks for watching.